What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Beaky, and let's talk about some of the interesting news in the video game industry over the last few days. Because there's certain things that definitely you guys are going to want to know, and I just feel like, well, let me share my own opinion on that epic, crazy, disgusting, okay? The PewDiePie story. So if you guys don't know, over the weekend, PewDiePie uttered a racial slur during a live stream of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. And a lot of people have opinions on this. Like, we see a lot of videos online right now of people saying like, oh, that's the worst thing you could possibly ever say. You have to be better than that. And I will agree that he has to be better than that. But what I want to just focus on for this video is my personal opinion on the fact that, was I actually offended by what he said? And what do I actually think about him being called a racist? And do I think his apology was genuine? So let's answer all three questions. I watched the video. I saw the context. So was I actually offended while watching that video? Hearing him say it? No. 2. Do I actually think he's a racist? No. 3. Do I feel like his apology video was actually genuine and he really did feel sorry for doing it? Yes, I actually do feel like he knew he seriously messed up and he did offend certain people. But this is just coming from one man, one black man, one man of color, whatever you want to call me. Just me personally, I did not get offended by the clip. And I just wanted to put my feelings out there because there have been so many videos I'm watching right now of people seemingly feeling sorry for, like, what? Why are you feeling sorry for my, whatever. I just want to say, from my personal opinion, watching the context, seeing it, I was not offended. If you were, that's your opinion. But I just wanted to give you mine. Let's move on from that one. Just wanted to say I wasn't offended. And I understand what happened, and I do understand it was a mistake, and he does have to be careful what he says, because he is the biggest YouTuber on the platform, and what he says may actually affect the rest of us as a whole. With that out of the way, let's move on from there. Let your own opinions know in the comment section below. Were you actually offended or not? Alright guys, let's take a look at PSN, because guess what? Something is free right now. But bam! Yes, Star Wars Battlefront Season Pass is completely free. You have until September 12th to October 5th to go ahead and download this. And the reason I want to bring this up, because this is kind of an interesting scenario for me, because I bought Star Wars Battlefront and I really have not played it because I gave it to the kids. I bought it for the kids to play. And now I'm going to be able to get the whole entire season pass for free, and it actually makes me think, like, maybe I should actually put that damn Blu-ray into my PS4, my own personal PS4, and give this game some time of day. It might really convince me with all the DLC and all the extra content that I should pick up Star Wars Battlefront 2, because at first when I played the beta I was like, okay, it's good, but I'm gonna get tired of this quick enough. But maybe if I see extra content that is gonna be from the season pass, it'll make me more enlightened and know more about the game and make me more excited for Battlefront 2. So I actually think this is a good move from EA. Putting the season pass, which was normally $20 out for free, it's just good marketing, and it's going to get a lot of goodwill from a lot of gamers who are into Star Wars or who might have had the game but didn't want to buy the season pass. And it super makes sense because, guys, you could get, I got Star Wars Battlefront for under $20. So the game literally costs less than the season pass. The season pass is super expensive if you technically thinking about it. And in fact, let's go over to Amazon, look up how much a copy of Star Wars Battlefront actually is right now. Let's go see. So here we are on Amazon, and the PC version of the game is $8.97, and on consoles it is $14.99. So yeah, if you want the normal version of the game right now, you could get it for absolutely nothing. And they did have a ultimate edition of the game, what came with everything, and that's like $20. I looked that up earlier. So if you ever wanted to play Star Wars Battlefront, this is probably the best time to come in when you're going to get the most content. This is a good reason and a good example of why us as gamers, sometimes it's okay to wait. It's like really okay to wait and not be at the frontier of buying the game day one. Because I really didn't feel like there was enough value to buy Star Wars Battlefront when it first came out for $60, but I did eventually get it for the kids and they played it. And now I'm finally like interested, like, whoa, I get all this content? And okay, I'm gonna try it out, and maybe this will get me hyped to play, well, the new Star Wars Battlefront 2 once that comes out, which I already was a little interested in because of the story, but I still was gonna wait till closer to release to find out how long the story is and how in-depth the story was before I went ahead and purchased it right away. Now, let's get on from there and talk about some other interesting stuff in the video game industry. Now, this one's just something I personally want to just touch on real quick. Metroid Samus Returns. Let's talk about Nintendo real quick. So this came out for the Nintendo 3DS, and it's been getting bonkers good reviews. 9.75 coming from Game Informer. And all over the place, this game is getting praised. Just be a really good return for Samus. Samus? What the hell is my mouth doing? What the hell is a Samus? Samus? What? I'm gonna like just yank my tongue out and throw it in the garbage after that. That was disgustingly bad. But back on point, places like Polygon 9 out of 10, IGN is 8.5. Overall, the Metacritic is 88. But my biggest problem with this is the same problem I had with the last Fire Emblem game that came out. It's not on the Nintendo Switch. It is not on the platform that I want to be playing my games on right now. And worse, Nintendo has a habit of re-releasing titles. So I'm kind of like, I might just really wait until Nintendo goes ahead and put this back out like in a year or two at some Samus Returns edition for like the Switch, because I feel like it's gonna happen and I'll be upset. I'll be upset about it because we already know games like Pokemon, the models in the game are higher resolution than the screen on the 3DS. So that makes me think, like, have they done this as well with this Metroid game? Can this game be easily ported over to the Switch and actually look better on this bigger screen or look better on my TV? I don't really want to invest the money in my 3DS right now. I really just don't want to put any more money into the 3DS currently. It's just not what I want to do. I want to move on to this because they're both portable systems. I still keep my 3DS because I think it's cool and I still have games on it that I want to finish up. But I don't want to put any more money into spending on games for that platform. It's just me. Maybe some of you guys out there are still buying 3DS games to this day, but I have a real big fear if Nintendo's going to re-release those games onto this platform sooner or later once it starts selling even more and they can keep it in stock, because the Switch, people want it, but they can't keep it in stock every place. And once the numbers start getting over to the 5 to the 10 million Switches units sold, then they'll be like, okay, perfectly fine to sell it the 3DS games on here now because the install base is big enough. Right now, it's smart business for Nintendo to put out Metroid on the 3DS because of the big install base of over 50 million units out there, that you know you're going to get a bunch of sales just because there's so many consoles, handhelds out there. But with this being a console and handheld, and once they start selling a lot too, I feel like they're going to start re-releasing a lot of 3DS games onto here and just make it work just fine. Just there's a lot of 3DS games that don't use the 3D that much, and I think it will be okay. And I guess we need to talk about another Switch story as well. This one's a little bit more... It irks me. It just irks me. So Nintendo finally updated that stupid Nintendo Switch mobile application to actually be able to use in the background. So what that means, like, let's say you're using the Nintendo Switch mobile app. I'll grab my phone right now, so I'll actually open it up live and actually bring up the Nintendo app. So if any of you guys don't own a Nintendo Switch and have no reason to download it, at least you guys will be able to see. So it's a Nintendo Online right there. Let me close this out. Ugh. 1 second, guys. So, Nintendo application that you guys are seeing right here. So, this application sucks. When it first came out, one of the biggest problems was when you are playing with it, right? You have to keep the app open and on the screen with the brightness and everything, wasting your battery to use voice communication. Now they're finally saying that, no, you could close the application, close the screen, you know, it becomes a background application so you can use voice talk just like any voice over IP like Discord, Skype, and so on and so forth. But that should have been a core feature. I just think the worst, like, everything about this pisses me off. The number one feature I just want for this application, the number one thing I want for the Friends app on the Nintendo Switch is just to be able to send a message to my friends. Just send them a message. Because look, this may not be a problem for many of you guys, but it is for me. I've met a lot of great people playing Splatoon, and I've met them through Discord. So we chat in the Discord server, we teamed up, and we start chatting, we start playing. Then I log on to Discord, and these people are not people who normally use Discord, so they're not really on Discord all the time, especially when they're playing the Switch. It's just not like that. So I see them on the Nintendo Switch online, and I'm like, yo, it'd be awesome if I could just send this guy, like, hey, you're my friend on Nintendo Switch. We're both Team Mayo. We're both Team Ketchup, or whatever it might be. Hey, you want to play a match together? We want to team up? Like, why do I have to try to go on a third-party application to get this guy's attention? He's on my friend list on the Switch. Just let me just send a message from your stupid Nintendo application that does nothing. Let me stop. All I'm saying is, I just want to. I don't even need the voice chat. It's not even. I don't even care. I just want to be able to send that person a message and they get a prompt on their Switch and they send me a message back. We're teaming up. We'll go. Done. Like done. There's so many problems with that damn voice chat. There is so many damn problems. Let's move on, guys. Let's move on. Now, this story is a really interesting one because a lot of us as gamers probably seen this dude around a lot. Kaz Hirai, CEO Kaz Hirai. This Twitter account right here is one that's been on Twitter for such a long time, and we all follow it. It's like, not all of us, many of us do. It's a fake Kaz Hirai Twitter account. Sony employees even follow it, and it says they say some funny stuff. But in a Game Informer story I just found today, which you guys are seeing right here, this is coming from Game Informer, he's gonna retire, the person running this account, or people, I don't know, in 2018. I think that really sucks because this was one of the funnier Twitter fake CEO for gaming accounts out there. Just like read some of these, let me read some of these tweets, right? Alright, I just tried it Xbox One. Fun fact, Connect will launch Rise if you say either Xbox, go to Rise Son of Rome, or Xbox War Me to Death. This is great. This is one of the best ever. EA announces EA Access for Wii U. For $4.99 a month, you get a discount on and early access to every one of the 0 games they will release on Wii U. Oh, that burns. This burns in such a good way because the relationship between EA and Nintendo with the Wii U was crazy because EA wanted to actually run the online service on the Wii U, so this is just absolutely a good burn in so many ways. And last but not least, let's read this one right here. No, actually, we have a few more, but with this one, this will actually forget this one because I'll just link this one down because it's kind of a little hard for you guys to see and it's a little complicated. But this one, an Oculus Rift headset can transport you to unbelievable fictional worlds, like a world where people will spend $5.99 on an Oculus Rift. Now, I feel him on that, but guys, let's be realistic. I did actually buy a headset, HTC Vive. I didn't buy Oculus, but in my case, I didn't use all my own money. Like, you know, I mean, I did technically because I sold my 3DS with a 3DS capture card, and if you guys know, a few months ago, I guess years ago now, the 3DS with a capture card was worth a lot because a lot of people are streaming 3DS games, and I sold it at a good time, and I got a lot of money for it, and that's what I used for buying the Vive. But I probably wouldn't have bought this if I didn't have something to sell to pay for it. I probably wouldn't have done it. Funny enough, though, a developer just sent me a code for this new early access VR title that's like it's almost like an MMO. I'm gonna try it out later today and report back to say how it is. I'm not sure if there's an embargo on it. I didn't read all the stuff in the email, so that's why I don't want to say the name of the game. But if the game's any good and if I read there's no embargo, I will report back to you guys about that. But I know many of you guys don't care about VR stuff, but if it's a good game, some of you guys might want to know about it. But it's sad to see him go. I really like CEO Kaz Hirai, great Twitter account for the gaming industry, and we're going to miss it. It was a lot of fun. And before we go, I have two more things I just want to touch on. I want to touch on the iPhone X, and I want to touch on really cool stuff coming to gaming for collectibles. Let's take a look at this Bioshock statue. So look at this crazy cool Bioshock statue that we're going to be able to pick up. I'm gonna have links in the description if you guys want to see the full details on where you guys can get this. And there's also this really badass power armor. Now, obviously, this is the reason I went ahead and took this story and I wanted to highlight it to you, because as you guys will see, I'm a pretty big Fallout fan, and I don't have anything like this. I don't have anything that's an armor. I mean, I got the Killzone helmet in the background from the Killzone Collector's Edition all those years ago, and I really like that one because I actually have books stored in the center of it. And yeah, I'm a bit of a Fallout fan. Just yeah, the Fallout art book, that the Pit-Boy behind this is the Pit-Boy. Yeah, just a bit of a Fallout fan. So I would not mind having more Fallout collectibles. Now, obviously, these statues are usually expensive, so I'm probably not gonna do it. I usually only do collectibles when it just feels so right and the price is right. Like this Fallout Bomb Anthology Edition was so cheap because I guess the GameStop I bought it from, maybe I'm going out of business, so I got it at a super good deal, and it came with all the old school Fallout games, and I was able to give all the games away and keep the collectible thing. Like, I want a deal on it. And then the Fallout, no, I could talk about Fallout all day. Let's move on to the iPhone. You guys know I like myself some Fallout. Alright, let's talk about the iPhone X. And the reason I want to talk about this is because, well, it's big in the gaming scene as well, because augmented reality, or what Apple's going to be doing with it for gaming as well. And they're even talking about gaming for the Apple TV, which I have zero interest in. On gaming on Apple TV, just no. But this is the first iPhone that I am legitimately interested in as somebody who's been on Android for so many years. The look of the edge-to-edge bezel is nothing new. It's not that's something Samsung's never done before. But I will admit, guys, I've never personally owned a Samsung cell phone that I use as my normal phone. I've never used a Samsung phone as my normal cell phone, so I've never used the Edge. My friends have it. I have family have Samsung phones, and I know what they're all about, but I never bought those. So I can't say that Apple's copying them the exact same way. I just like the way they did this bezel, the way that they're doing the screen, the information they're putting out, how the camera works. It's not a crazy improvement, but the portrait mode. It's just like little things that they're putting into this specific iPhone. I'm like pretty impressed with what you're doing. They finally doing the wireless charging. I finally think the iPhone is somewhere that it really can compete against some of the Google products out there, for like, you know, the Google Pixel Plus, the screen size being 5.8. Like, my phone right now is a huge screen phone, so if I was going to get an iPhone, it would have to be a pretty big iPhone. But the downfall of all this is that the plain and simple fact, as great as that iPhone is, as pretty as it is, as I like the features, this phone is $500. $500 I paid for this phone, right? This phone has 6 gigs of RAM. It is fast as heck. It has the fingerprint sensor. It has a 20 plus megapixel camera. It takes good pictures. It's pretty decent. The only thing that sucks on this phone, the selfie camera sucks. The front facing camera is absolutely garbage, but if I'm taking pictures or videos with the back, it looks great. It works fine. It came with, I think, oh my god, how much storage did this phone come? I'll tell you right now. Default, this phone came with 64 gigabytes of storage. Default, like $500, this came with 64 gigabytes of storage with 6 gigs of RAM, fast as heck, the latest iOS, Android OS on it. So, how can I justify buying this? Like, unless I really want the edge-to-edge display and the front-facing camera, it's just like Apple prices themselves out of the market. It makes no way. If I could get something this powerful, why? And it plays games, it plays Legends, takes free. Like, it's saying a faster phone, but I'm like, how much faster do I need a faster phone when phones are like my phone opens instantly. I touch it, everything is swift, quick. I just, like, you know, it's quick and responsive, plenty of space. I understand technology needs to get faster, but I think the things that use that faster stuff in the phone is not there yet. There's not been those games that just make phones like need the extra power yet. Augmented reality, I understand, does. Virtual reality stuff does. But that's still just a small segment of the market at the moment. It's just like, can't you just make an affordable something? Like, you would legitimately have me consider getting it, because I like the look, I like your camera, your front-facing camera, your back camera technology with the dual camera. It looks interesting, but I'm not paying $1,000. What? That's like I haven't financed a cell phone in forever. I have a phone, but I don't pay for a contract. I just own the phone because I wanted the phone to own it. So when I'm done with the phone, I sell it. But $1,000 is nutty. My mother, who is an iPhone user, who just recently switched to Android because her iPhones were giving constant problems. She's kept getting iPhones, and the iPhones just batteries wouldn't stay charged long. So she switched over to Samsung, right? She would have been interested in this, but she's not gonna pay $1,000 either. You understand? Like my family members, my niece, she's an iPhone user, but she has an iPhone, one of the iPhone Plus. Her father, I got her, but I know him. He ain't gonna upgrade her to something like this, and he's not gonna upgrade to the iPhone 8 either, because the iPhone 8, that just seems like a slight upgrade to what was out there before. It doesn't look that different. It doesn't seem the features are that enhanced. But this looks so cool. It seems like Apple's finally having those wireless those features that Android has had for a long time, where I could possibly justify switching. Because I've had an Apple account before. I don't use it these days, but I still would be okay. Many of the apps I use on Android are all free apps. The few paid apps that I have are stuff that are not really essential to my everyday use, and I can still keep my old phone because I own it. The pricing is just wrong. There's nothing else I can say about it. There's no way it makes sense to pay $1,000 for something that you're gonna be making calls, use Facebook, and use a web browser 90% of the time, and you're not gonna be using the power of this new chip to the full maximum ability for the majority of users. And I'm talking about the majority, but maybe this is just a Lexus of cell phone. Maybe this is just the Ferrari even. It's a status symbol. Like maybe that's what it is. But even as a status system, rich people don't just, smart rich people are smart because they don't waste money. Because once again, $500 comes with more RAM, comes with higher storage, and it's quick as hell. It's hard for me to upgrade to something that's $500 more. I don't even mean to make this an iPhone rant video, but I hate seeing stuff like this. I just hate seeing people price themselves out of the market. And even still, I still think that's a problem with HTC Vive. As great as Vive is, I think they still are a bit too expensive. I think Oculus has been doing a good job dropping the price, and the same thing as well with PlayStation and their own VR headset. They price themselves better, and they've been dropping the price and doing bundles to make it be more competitive. HTC doesn't seem to want to do that because, well, they're kind of in a financial growth trouble, you could say, as a company. So maybe dropping the price to more comfortable compete with Oculus or PlayStation VR is not in their budget right now, but sometimes you need to. Let's just get off of this. This has been Beacon here talking about video game and tech news for the day. I'm going to give Apple a clap. You made an iPhone that I'm interested in. I haven't been interested in an iPhone since the iPhone 4. So that tells you how long I've not cared about the iPhone in general. So that's a good on them. But you price yourself out of the market for me and probably a lot of other general customers. And that's fine. I know the Apple loyalists will buy this nonetheless. And that probably won't matter to them. But I'm sure they wanted some conversion. I'm sure they probably want some people to leave Android and move on over. But I just can't do it at that price range. I just won't. Not especially when my phone still works absolutely fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with my phone. I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Peace the heck out. Leave your own opinions in the comments section below.